It is 2021 and we have received so many new settings into this game. Even in the last patch they added completely new tab with some new features under the settings, and today in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to fix your settings because most likely those things are wrong. There are going to be something for new players, well, a lot for new players if you are new to this game, and we have some tips for older players as well. Maybe you simply have forgotten to switch some things on or off. Either way, I believe it helps your gameplay performance and it is going to increase your WNA.
That's quite big.
And I tried to make this video as information-packed, as informative as possible, showing you some examples as well. So if you appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen, take 1 second to hit the like button. And if you like our content, join with this nation, hit the subscribe button. We all love you for that. But now let's dive into the action. And honestly, if you want to learn everything about the settings, I highly recommend you to watch this video from the start to finish, because we have something juicy under basically every single tab, even under Reticle tab. There is one thing, this feature right over here, which is going to change your blind shot game, which is going to take your blind shot game to the next level. But let's start with the general settings. Chat, basically everything under here is up for your preferences, but here are a couple things I want to point out. Many times people are asking why they are not seeing invitations from some players. Well, if you have this thing checked, you can only see invitations to the platoon from your friend list, which you have inside the game. You know, only players who are inside your friend list. If you want to see invites from other players, then deselect that. Also, accept invitation to platoon in the battle. This is the feature which, you know, when you are loading in, many times people are randomly inviting you into the platoon during the load screen. Then if you don't want to see that, if it annoys you, you can deselect it. Next up, battle communication. This is a tab what we didn't have last year. For example, they introduced it a couple batches ago, I don't know, half year ago, something like that, with the so-called new communication 2.0, and it is actually quite a useful feature. Everything over here, I recommend to leave everything on as it makes communication easier. You don't have to type and you can use it in your advantage, showcasing where you are going, who you are targeting by pressing T by default on target, or on key locations on the minimap by pressing right mouse button, showcasing where you are going, or left mouse button to leave a sticky marker at the position what needs more attention. Also, if you press on the minimap with your left mouse key, leaving a sticky marker, or if you are in the first person sniper view by pressing T on a targeted point, you know, just on the map, you leave a sticky marker, and if you aim in the middle of it, you can see the distance, and it is very useful rendering or thinking if your shot is even going to render after, you know, 720 meters, then your shot is not even going to hit anyone because it does not render. But very useful over here. Helpful commanding your battle without typing. Random battle types over here, it is up to you what you want to prefer. Mainly I leave only standard battle on, sometimes encounter battles, assault battles on as well. If you like to play grand battles, leave this on as well. It is up to you what you would like to play. This vehicle panel over here is so-called tank carousel, what we had many years ago as a mod. We had to install it as a mod, but now it is in the vanilla client as well. It basically makes your garage from 1 level to 2 level. You know, if you have more vehicles, you want to see more vehicles at once, it is very, very useful. And over here, the adaptive and minimalistic just makes the icons bigger, your garage icons bigger. If you have smaller monitor, you know, you can use the minimal, so you have a bigger screen of actual vehicle. And display stats upon hovering over a slot in the garage. This shows your win ratio, your ace tanker level, you know, first class, second class ace tanker, and your mark of excellence as well. Next up, enable battle recording is for your replays. It is no recording at all, or last only, which is going to overwrite your last replay all the time. You're able to look at your last replay, but if you jump into the next battle, that will be overwritten. And all, I do recommend you to leave it at all, because it is good for uploading your epic battles, to keep your epic battles. You can analyze your own replays to learn the game more, or if you want to report someone, customer service needs an evidence to see what kind of bad thing the player did, of course. And I do recommend you to save all your replays, but a quick tip, you know, you are not able to play your older replays after patch or two, just delete them manually just to save some room, so the replay files are not going to, you know, take too much room on your PC. Next up, display Mark of Excellence. This shows the ribbons, duct tapes on the barrels, you know, the emblems, how many Mark of Excellence a player has with that vehicle. It is very useful looking out the best players, you know, but only pay attention if they have, let's say, 3 Mark of Excellence on tanks. Then you know that you are facing very good player, and you have to stay calm. You have to play a bit differently than versus average player in this game, for example. Yes, but looking at the 1 Mark of Excellence, 2 Mark of Excellence, don't pay any attention to those things. Don't think that the player is bad, because even good players, even the best players, have to start from the 0, and at some point or another they are on 1 Mark of Excellence or 2 Mark of Excellence as well. But I would say where this helps you out is a 3rd Mark of Excellence, definitely. So hide non-historical elements, it's up to you. It is not hiding many 3D styles which are actually blocking weak spots. What it does over here, it is hiding all the gimmicky styles, non-historical paints and whatnot. I actually don't mind it, in my opinion. It is quite cool, so definitely not hiding anything myself, but if you want to do that, it is up to you. Display vehicles of platoon members in the garage is a feature. What you can see inside the garage, let's say you are in the platoon, your platoon mate is ready, the vehicle with the camo with Mark of Excellence is going to appear next to you, and this is basically what that setting does, is all about. And you can anonymize your nickname. You get a random nickname in every single battle, protects you against XVM. Next up, let's talk about battle interface. Many settings over here are super key, so pay attention, and some settings over here are directly going to impact your gameplay. So let's go. Show vehicle tier, it shows everyone's tier inside the game, you know, inside the game team panel list on the top of the vehicle icon. Minimap transparency, I do not recommend you to turn it on. A minimap is key, and once again, key in this game. You need as much and as clear information as possible, and in my opinion, making minimap transparent is going to hurt that. Some talk tag options over here for your customization, you know, up to you what you can do. You can do whatever you want with it. Enable optics effects in the sniper mode, it just adds extra layer to it. I'm going to show you the print screens on and off, you know. Now I like it on, actually. I don't mind it. Showing postmodern vehicle that destroyed your vehicle. You know, if you get destroyed, it jumps into the vehicle for a couple seconds. Who destroyed you? Up to you once again if you want to do that or not. Enable dynamic camera. Switch that thing off. At least I did, and I do recommend you do the same, because whenever you drive over trees, whenever you fire, it shakes your aim, it shakes your vehicle, and if you have it on, it basically puts you into disadvantage versus players who do not have it on, who doesn't see any kind of shaking whatsoever, whose aiming is all the time on you. And the only moving obstacle they see, or the only moving thing they see, is the aiming circle after they fire. So you can see the comparison as well. Next up, what I do recommend you to switch on is horizontal stabilization in sniper mode. Those two things, enable dynamic camera and horizontal stabilization, if they are set up correctly like I have over here, it changes your gameplay. Horizontal stabilization is key. Once again, I have seen so many players, I have played against so many players who I can clearly see are not using this horizontal stabilization. What it does, basically, if you have it selected, you can turn your hull, but your aiming circle, your turret stays where you are aiming. You have to do minimal correction manually, you know, just a tiny little bit of correction. But if you have it switched off, your aiming circle, your entire screen, together with you turning inside the sniper view, you know, when you turn your hull, reticle, your entire tank, your entire aiming circle moves together with it, and it is the most annoying thing out here actually. So please switch it on, don't make the same mistakes many players do, and they basically lose time, they lose damage, you know, they miss shots close up because they turned their hull and aiming circle moved like off the target. So please switch that on. Next up, enable T times 16 and times 25. What it does basically, it adds 2 extra clicks to your sniper view. You can zoom in 2 more times. It is helpful if you want to snipe weak spots from a bit longer distance away. For me, it is very useful because I know how to scroll and how to control my zoom anyway. I don't have to fully zoom in all the time, but to have those 2 extra clicks over there, it is actually very useful, especially at sniping weak spots. And another thing I do recommend you to start doing right now, start practicing right now if you haven't done that already, master your shift key to go into the sniper view and outside the sniper view, into the third person and into the sniper view. Use shift key so you do not have to scroll all the time. Scrolling actually wastes your aim time, and shift is going to gain you some aim time, you know, reaction time. Master that right now, start practicing. Use the shift. Restrict toggling the sniper mode to the shift key. This is what you can do as well, but well, maybe this helps you to master it actually. Maybe this is for the practice run. Now, I don't use it because, you know, I'm using shift anyway. So it is maybe helpful for you to master it at first. Enable server reticle is going to make your aiming circle slower actually. It is going to show you the actual aiming circle, but for me it is too sluggish. It is helpful if you have the aiming circle mode installed, for example, then it shows both of them. It shows these server reticle and the standard reticle, but it just makes your reticle slower. It is more accurate, yes, because it is server reticle, but in most situations it makes me angry more than anything. Preferred sniper mode zoom level, I'm always using last, but you can set it to something as well you want. You know, as soon as you zoom in, it is ×8, ×4, ×2, but I like to be on last used. So show vehicle markers on the battle score panel. You can see vehicle markers, you know, inside the game. Display camera direction beam on the minimap is also very, very useful. Please leave it on. You can see where you're aiming. You can line up the shots with the vehicle icons if you want to take the blind shots who are vehicles who are outside your view range. You can do that. It is very helpful feature, of course. Display arc of fire for the SPGs. Well, you can, if you are playing SPGs, you can look at those settings as well. Display notification when caused damage. It shows me what I hit. Did I hit the tracks? Did I hit like something critically? Did armor bounce, or was that just a ricochet? You know, some extra information. Leave it on, you know, it doesn't hurt. Display a speedometer of wheeled vehicles. Basically, it puts a speed of the wheeled vehicles in the middle of the screen. I don't mind it if you don't care, you know, you can deselect it. Where I find it useful is it gives me quite a quick information, quite a quick overview once again in which mode I am in. Am I in the fast turbo mode or am I in the handling mode? This is mainly why I like to use it, but it just shows you the extra bigger speed, you know, speedometer. Show the repair time for damaged modules. Definitely click it on. It is one of the newest features in one of the latest patches. It shows you in the bottom left, it shows you the repair timer. If your track got damaged, if something is being repaired, you can directly see when you can start moving. Show previous battle results in the chat. I have this selected off because, let's say, I died in the previous battle, I'm already in the next battle, and the previous battle is a loss. Maybe it is going to affect you negatively as well because you are on a losing streak and oh boy, my team lost yet another battle, and maybe it affects your current battle right now. And overall, like, I don't need any extra information outside of the current battle. I don't need to know what happened like 2 battles ago. For me personally, it is switched off. Next up, enable expanded minimap features. You should have it set on always. If you don't have it on always, if you have never, upon pressing Alt or always, switch it to always, because as I said before, minimap is key. place where you're able to get information, and this gives you more information. It shows you the last known positions of the enemy vehicles. If you have it turned to none, you actually lose a lot of valuable information. It shows you where enemy vehicles were, which enemy vehicles were over their vehicle names, and so on. It is very, very key. Please activate it, put it always. Tips on the battle loading screen. I like to keep it on minimap because I can see from which side I am starting from while I'm loading into the battle. I can make my battle plan already starting from the loading screen. Definitely minimap, my go-to. View range indicators on the minimap. Definitely check everything. This is what my buddy also didn't have checked. I don't know why those things are not checked from the get-go. Very, very weird. Definitely check everything. This proxy range is the 50-meter proxy range around your vehicle, the smaller circle inside the 50-meter, you know, everything gets spotted, even behind the houses, even behind the cover, even if you have no clear vision on the target. If they are inside your proxy range, inside this circle, you know, they are going to be spotted, and it shows on the minimap. Then you have the view range, maximum spotting range, and the draw distance circle. All of those things are on the minimap. It helps you tremendously to stay outside the enemy spotting range, you know, if you keep enemy tank destroyers or spotted enemy tanks in the middle of your maximum view range and the maximum drawing range, drawing circle, then they are never able to spot you. If you keep them inside that area, you are safe. The only people who are able to spot you, of course, have to be inside your spotting range. Then the garage camera animation, well, it is up to you. And all those things are under general, so congratulations. Next up, let's talk about graphics, which is once again going to directly impact your gameplay, but graphics are more personal and more based on your PC or performance. What are you looking for? Are you looking for higher FPS? Are you looking for beauty in the game? Or do you want to get, you know, both while maximizing the gameplay experience as well? So I have a couple tips for you. So over here, once again, my graphical settings, windowed borderless. I have 1440p monitor. I'm playing with this. This is why you see a bit smaller interface as well, actually. Field of view is actually important for me. You know how far your camera is, how much you can see around your vehicle. It is 110 degrees for me. And 3D render resolution 100%. Over here you can get some extra filters as well if you want to get, you know, a preset filter settings, a film scene and stuff like that, but I do not bother. I am playing with no filter, stock configuration. Under the details, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is based on your PC, based on your performance. I like to make a game looking a bit more pretty, and luckily my PC is able to handle it. Why I like to make it a bit more pretty? Because I'm making content in the game, I'm streaming, you know, and people want to see, they don't want to see pixelated objects, for example. This is why I do that, but I have some key gameplay affecting features off, definitely, you know. Anyway, here are my settings. If you want to increase your performance, of course, lighting quality, shadow quality, post-processing, you can turn them down. Shadow quality is the first thing that should go down. Lighting quality maybe as well. Then draw distance, texture quality. This is what I did on my old PC, for example. I had all those things basically turned down like this. Just to get some FPS while recording and so on, post-processing as well. If you want to know what one or another thing does even further, you know, you can read every single tooltip, just hover over it and you can see what they do. For example, post-processing, reducing the value of this parameter can improve game performance, key things for some of you. Vegetation quality is actually a gameplay affecting thing once again. Vegetation quality, if it is turned out to ultra, you know, you have the moving all the time, the vegetation grass is always moving, waving in the wind, you know. If this affects you, you can turn it down easily. Grass density, once again, it shows how thick the grass on the ground is. I like to keep it in the middle actually, but while vegetation quality is maximum. Terrain and water quality, once again, is based on your PC, what kind of FPS you want or how pixelated you want the terrain to be, and you can easily slow them down, you can easily take them off. off, and it automatically takes off terrain tessellation as well inside the sniper mode and outside the sniper mode. What the terrain tessellation is, basically deep tracks in the mud, for example. If you drive in the snow, if you drive on soft terrain, for example, you leave, graves, like trench marks on the ground. I don't know how to call that in English. You get the point, ladies and gentlemen. You are smart. Anyway, foliage transparency is... I like to keep it like this, because if you have it switched off, you still, if you are going to see through the bush, like everything disappears. The entire bush disappears. And this sometimes may, if you have been sitting in the bush for a very long time, you may forget that you are inside the bush even, but if it is selected, it is going to be transparent, but you see the outline of the bush anyway. I have an example for you as well when it is switched on, when it is switched off. Grass in sniper mode is a definite no-go. Definitely switch it off, ladies and gentlemen. If you have some grass and grass in the sniper mode selected, it can hide weak spots if you are peeking over the ridge lines, over some bumps, and it can hide vehicles. The grass in sniper mode, definitely please switch off. This is going to improve your gameplay quality a lot. Extra effects quality, I have it maximum because I just like the overall theme, what happens around me, explosions and fire effects and so on. But at the same time, extra effects in the sniper mode are switched off. I am going to show you quite a big difference right over here side by side as well. Same clip. On one clip there is effects in the sniper mode selected on, and on the other clip off. You can see the difference. It is like day and night, ladies and gentlemen. In one clip you have to see through the fire, through the smoke, through the hotness, and on the other screen you have absolutely nothing. You have burning tank in front of you in third person view, but as soon as you go into the sniper mode you see clean view, no smoke, no effects, no nothing, and this is directly going to affect your gameplay. Same goes to the enhanced destruction physics. This is also going to directly impact your gameplay. I have it switched off, even though it looks cool. If you destroy something, it turns into rubble, and rubble pieces flying all over the map. It is cool, yes, but oh boy, how many times have I missed my shots because of that? Let's say enemy is behind a fence or behind cars or something like that. If this is selected on, and if you destroy that fence, if you destroy that car, it starts going away slowly. You still have pieces over there hiding the enemy's lower blade, hiding the enemy tank overall, completely. But if it is switched off, if you shoot the fence, if you shoot the car, they disappear, boof, automatically right away. No rubble, no nothing left on the ground. You have a clear vision after that. It directly impacts your gameplay as well. Enable track and wheel effects. You can turn all of those things off if you need some more frames per second. So over here, a couple key things you might want to check out. Next up, let's talk about sounds, and I have been using this type of sound system or level system for literally years. After they made the, different caliber guns sound quite a bit different from each other. Since then, I have used this system right over here, where effects are the highest, just so I can hear the gun sounds the loudest. If let's say 3 tanks are behind the corner with different calibers, and I'm waiting for the B cannon to fire, for example, or 100mm cannon to fire, 122mm, 130mm cannon to fire, I can easily distinguish which gun fired, and I can move on. It has helped me so many times, even if I'm not looking at the targets. When the target is behind me, for example, if I hear a big boom from Jagdpanzer E100, I know that that guy is out for roughly, let's say, 20 seconds, and I have roughly 20 seconds to react before the Jagdpanzer E100 is reloaded once again. And also, if you have effects, the loudest you can hear enemy vehicles breaking objects around you as well, even without them being spotted. Voice chat, well, here is the voice chat push to talk as well with Platoon 2.0. If you're using it, if you're using the voice chat over there, here are your voice chat settings as well. But once again, I would say this is quite personal. Next up, controls. It is quite standard. I would say, like, don't even look at my sensitivity, just make your own, because I have those things so low because my stock sensitivity on my mouse is through the roof already, and even the slightest movements are going to move my mouse, you know, so this is why I need quite a low arcade aim, but even lower sniper aim. This is one tip I have for you. Make sniper aim even slower, because you have to cover less distance anyway and you need to be a lot more accurate. Make sniper aim slower, smaller than the arcade aim. Make it as small as you need to hit weak spots to actually be able to control your aim. This is what helps you to control your aim. This is one thing that helps you do that. All the rest of the things for me are very similar. Fire a salvo, of course, is a middle mouse button for me, like for most of you guys. This is the double shot for double barrel guns to load up double shot. All the rest of the things for me, like reload shell container is under C, like all those things are exactly the same. I haven't touched any other settings. Next up, let's talk about reticle. Let's talk about aiming circle. One of the most frequently asked questions under my videos as well, where I play live or where I show some of my own battles. People are asking what type of mod am I using for the aiming circle. I am not using any mods. This is clean World of Tanks, just messing with the settings. And if you haven't done this already, please do, and it is going to elevate your blind shot game to the next level. I guarantee this to you. This is how I have been able to get battles where I have 2000 plus damage as blind shot, shooting at targets who are able to shoot me, but I'm not able to see them, and just blindly lining up some lines and hitting them, smacking them in the face. So the most important thing, both under the arcade and sniper aim, is indicator. Please put that to diagonal if you don't have it diagonal, because this gives you this little line over there, what you are able to line up with battle notification, what I'm going to cover in a second. One of those things, you know, if you receive a shot, like any of those shots, you know, either D57 tracks you, or someone hits you and bounces you, or your teammate, okay, that doesn't matter, or someone damages you, you are going to see this indicator with this line, and if you have your reticle set to diagonal, you can line up that line with this line, and you know exactly where they are shooting from, you know the exact direction. Now you just have to play around with the elevation, where they are sitting at, behind what kind of bush they are at. You know, you can aim at the bush and you can smack them in the face because of that. So please put that to diagonal for both sniper and arcade aim. What I'm using for the other settings, I have O-shaped 1 as my middle circle, you know, O-shaped 1. Also, I have the circle for solid as this one over here, you know, I don't like anything but solid, you know, and with armor penetration indicator in the middle of that, right over there, you can see it shows red if you are not able to penetrate, yellow if it is, or orange if it is like 50-50, or green if it should be a clear penetration. Just something that helps you out. Same goes to this over here. You can easily copy paste if you like my aiming reticle. So please feel free to use this as well and let me know how it works out for you. Moving on, marker. Next up, let's talk about marker. Enemy team is what you see on the enemy side. By the way, this is how the colorblind mode looks like. I have it selected under the colorblind mode. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about that. I have colorblind mode selected because some of my viewers asked it. I have absolutely no problem with it. If it makes some of your viewing experience better, I'm using it, and this is what it does. It turns red enemy players into this color. So what I'm using is vehicle tier, vehicle model. I want to know the tier of the vehicle, I want to know the vehicle name, and I want HP total and left. Why I want HP total and left at the same time? Then I can see from the distance if this tank is not at full HP anymore, like this Tiger is not. I can see if it is fully upgraded, if it is using improved hardening equipment unit, or all those those things, you know, you see the total HP as well, or if they are fully upgraded, if we are looking at the lower tiers, if you know the maximum HP they can get, of course. What you're using for your own teammates, it's up to you. I'm just using HP left. HP total actually should be over here as well. Just a bit better view, you know which tanks are fully upgraded, which are using stock turret and so on, and destroyed just whatever you want to use over there. Moving on, battle notifications, and here we have a brand new thing once more, what we received last patch actually. What I am using is fire direction indicator. Absolutely everything is selected, everything is advanced. I want to know critical hits, I want to know friendly fire, I want to know how much damage I did. Like, why should you switch off anything over here? I do not get. Please use absolutely everything, and it gives a key information, or you can use it as a key information to blind shot together with this, you know. Battle events, once again, absolutely everything is selected over here. My screen luckily is big enough, so everything can fill, and I can see how much damage you do and all that. If you do not want to see how much damage you caused in the middle of the screen, for example, you can switch this off. If you don't want to see critical hits, you can switch all of them off, but me personally, I want this information. I like this information. It doesn't affect me in any shape or form, so I keep it on. Log, once again, there is one thing I do differently than some other players. For example, I have everything selected. Yes, indeed, I have everything selected. You can see how much damage I blocked and all those things. If this affects you, you can switch it off. It doesn't affect me, but the position of the events is received damage at the top. I have seen some players have received damage and damage caused and everything at the bottom. I don't get it actually, because sometimes you would like to see how much damage you did you do the tracking and what happened, you know, what is going on, and if everything is in one position, you may lose some information. Received damage over here, you can see 4 final received damage shots. In my opinion, is a bit better placement for that, but hey, it is my personal opinion. Once again, displaying all events for myself. Map border, it's up to you what you would like to see, what looks better at you. Wall, dotted lines, or lined lines actually, or you do not want to display it at all. I do not recommend that actually. Do not highlight, or when approaching, always highlighted. It's up to you as well. Once again, quite a personal preference. And finally, the final tab is new, completely new, what they added last patch, and I do recommend selecting absolutely everything over here. Everything is not selected by default actually. I think this comes by default like this. Display team HP par. You can see team HP, you can see vehicle icons, you can see all that, but why I like all the things over here, you can see the HP numbers directly, you can see the HP difference. Now, let's say the score is, without calculating it yourself, for example, let's say the score is 5-5. You think the game is equal, you think the game is side by side, but then you look over here, you see that your team is losing by 5,000 hit points, for example. I just had one of those battles a couple days ago, where the score was equal, but our team was winning with, let's say, 6,000 hit points. So that means many enemy tanks are one-shots or super low on HP, and we should make the final push to finish off the battle, you know. This gives some extra information, and of course you can see the vehicle tier as well, and it separates them by tier, by vehicle class. Everything gives you a lot more information about the battle overall, simply looking at the one spot right over there. It is standard display method for my missions. If you do not want to display it, you can turn missions off, and if you want to know your missions, you can press N actually as well. Sometimes some players use it like this, but I don't mind it. Screen once again is big enough, and mission details, display all, display progressive only. I have all missions right over here, mainly because many times people ask what mission am I working on, which mission is it, and so on, so people can see directly what am I working on while I'm streaming, for example. Ladies and gentlemen, settings done. Consider yourself being informed with every single setting I am using, why I'm using it, and hopefully it was helpful for you as a new player. We have many things which affect your gameplay directly. So hopefully it was useful. If it was, you know what to do. Thumbs up button is for that. If it wasn't, thumbs down button is for that. In the meantime, stay awesome, stay sexy, take care, and bye.